You can support this show at patreon.com/ASAPodcasting. Hello, welcome back, Skyrim Addict podcast. Michael, joined by Ray.
Hello.
And Victor.
Good evening.
We have a couple of topics tonight. We got Inigo, we got some woodorks, which I'd never heard of until Ray introduced them to us today. I haven't gone through Inigo a lot. Solstheim character, quickly. Retired to Solstheim character. Just because I had run out of things to do on Solstheim without doing the main quest. So I couldn't do any Dragonborn stuff. So I was kind of running out of, I was doing I did a lot of the other things, but there's a lot that's tied up in Dragonborn that you can't. There's still a lot to do there. I mean, I think I was level 25 or so when I left, when I was done. So I did run around there for quite a bit and get quite a bit of stuff. And,
that's a good run.
Yeah, did a few black books and things like that. There's just some stuff that just ends up being locked off to you, and you can't end up doing it. I probably could have gone a little further. I could have done more of Deathbrand and stuff like that. Killed Karstag. If I really wanted to. There was definitely more to go, but there's definitely a limitation with Dragonborn on where you can, because there's some areas and locations you just can't go through without being able to do Dragonborn itself.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, unless you're running a really limited, role play of some sort. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be great for that. There is definitely enough content to do a more specific role play for Solstheim and avoid all that stuff. Because I mean, like I said, I was at least level 25 when I finished, and I still could have won a few more levels, doing Deathbrand and things like that, and running or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you did a house mod and set up living there or something, that you could probably easily play 30, 40 level, without really stretching it or anything. So then the topic of Inigo came up in the Facebook group. I had never played it because I don't use followers. Ray, you don't use followers, right?
Right.
I remember, Victor, you had played it way back, right? When it
early
out.
on, one of the earlier versions of Inigo, because Gopher had done an Inigo play through it. I thought, I'll give that a shot.
Yep.
So so I tried him out.
Yeah, so I said I'll start a character with him, and on mainland. Live another life again. Stupidly, I started out at I think it was Old Herodan Inn.
Ooh.
So I was all the way across the map from where Inigo's at.
Yeah.
Had no money, no cart or anything, so I had to walk all the way to Rift. So, not the best place to start, but whatever. It worked. And I guess there's multiple ways you can get to, you can find notes that he's there or get arrested and find him. But I just went in there and obviously found him.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can just walk into the jail, right?
Yeah, you can just walk in and see him. Yeah. So that's what I did. So
and if you read the guard's note on the table, they talk about his how he came to be there.
Oh, yes.
And then also mention that there's a key in the broken lockbox over the fireplace.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How did I miss that? I picked the lock, which...
Because, of course, guards always leave stuff like
always
that.
Always leave the notes about the locks. Yeah. Yeah, because I was, I don't know, probably level 2. Because I had literally walked from Old Rodan over. And, I've had 4 lockpicks to get into it, so but I got in, so there is that. I guess that's positive. Yep. And there was another quest that I guess I just never go into the Rift in jail. There's the quest with one of the Blackbriars down there.
Yeah, Maven's son. Yeah.
I cannot tell you the last time I did it. because I guess I just never go into the rift in jail.
Well, I think there's an entry to that quest from somewhere else.
There's got
as well. I just don't remember exactly where
it's at the Bee and Barb.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, Louis Latrache. That's
right. It's Frost. It's Frost.
That's part of
the horse. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the when you're trying to power level speech. You persuade the guard at the gate. After you run up and get the amulet of Zenitar and get the blessing from the shrine.
Right.
Then you come back down. You persuade the guard. That gives you 1 bump. Then you run past as far over to the right as you can to get past Maul, and then you go around and give the beggar a coin, and then that gives you the gift of charity. Then you go talk to Maul, and now no matter what your starting speech level, you're now over 25, and so you can do the persuade check on Maul. Get you another point, and then you go talk to Shatter on the bridge.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's the Sapphire quest.
Then you go talk to Sapphire, and you get another one. On your way out, you talk to Sibby or to Louis Latrache, pick up the Frost quest. That takes you to the jail. When you go talk to the guard at the gate who says, "Hey, you're not supposed to be here." And then you answer your persuade check is, "I'm allowed to be here." And he's like, "Oh, okay. Go on in."
Oh, man. Oh, nice.
And then you go talk to Sibby, start through his dialogue. And then when you get the option, to tell him that Maven would probably give you more money for the info, that's another persuade check. And that gets you another point in speech.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, that's your speech power level in Ripton.
Wow,
nice. That's 5 points or so.
Yeah. So Gate, Maul, Sapphire, the guard, and Sibby. Yeah, 5 points.
Nice. Wow, that's pretty quick leveling especially for speech.
Yeah.
Who are the pardon me? Who are the speech trainers? There's the merchant in Windhelm is a speech trainer, right? The one that you do the viola quest for,
right?
Who else is a speech trainer?
One of the Khajiits, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. The one it's the same one you get. There's another quest line that kicks off.
Let's see. Oh, there's
you find his locket or whatever it was.
Yeah, there's
his moon amulet.
Carjo. That's Carjo though.
Is it?
That's the Carjo quest. Yeah, the moon amulet.
There's Dromarash, who's with the Khajiit caravan.
No, one of the heads of the 2 caravans is the salesman. I forget what it starts with an R.
Then there's Raven Sadri in Windhelm.
Mm-hmm. It's the Windhelm, yeah.
Ronthiel, who's part of Dawnguard in Volkihar.
Oh, okay.
Ogmund in Markarth. Who's that? He's a bard. Oh, the bard at Silverblood Inn. Okay.
Oh, the one with the big deep voice.
Yeah. Gerard.
He just belts those songs right out.
And at the Bard's College is Gerard Germain. He's
the
he's the master trainer. Okay. Yeah, looks like 5 of them.
I don't think I've ever.
Yeah, I almost always use Sadru because he's a merchant.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah.
Which level is he though? He's not a master?
Yeah, no, he's common.
Yeah.
And then Ogmund is expert.
Well, he gets you to I don't ever take speech past 50.
That's true. Yeah, unless it accidentally goes over 50.
Yeah.
There's no point in no return on investment there.
No, because I mean, really, all you're interested in is being able to sell anything to any merchant.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
So you can sell potions to recover.
That's
training money.
Yeah,
that's a good point. Yeah, selling to anybody is actually one of the good perks on the useful perks on the vanilla tree.
Yeah,
for sure. So I picked up Inigo. Decided to play as an orc because I haven't done that in a while. with two-handed maces. Because I don't know if I've ever done two-handed maces actually.
Do you mean dual wield?
Yeah, dual wielded maces. I mean, I've done the dual swords, the dual daggers. I've never really done the dual maces though, so it's been a little more fun. And I've just been kind of run. I will say, Inigo is like a really good follower, and I don't like followers. That you can set him to do what you want him to do, and he will do it.
Even without the follower tweaks.
Yeah,
he's got a lot of built-in control.
Yeah, and
the follower tweaks don't affect him, do they? Because normally those follower mods don't affect mod.
Yeah, he doesn't actually count as a follower.
Yeah.
But yeah, he no matter what level you start with him at, he comes out of the gate with an ebony bow, ebony arrows, and an ebony sword.
Yeah. Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
So really all he's looking for from you is a little armor.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I had to get him some armor because he was in his underwear. I made him some leather scout armor because I figured that worked.
Oh, he looks really good in leather scout armor.
Yeah, it looks appropriate for the character.
I remember I dressed him up in Alakir garb.
Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah. Maybe I'll have to go kill some of those guys. They just talk to me. So that may be on the agenda to change his gear. Yeah, and like all the changes to like his how much he speaks or who he speaks to or how he follows or how he acts in combat is all through the speech part of it. And you just talk to him and can change that stuff. You don't have to go through any kind of other menus or anything.
Yeah.
And also I found in all of his stuff, I found an amulet.
Oh yeah.
That quiets him down.
Yep.
Oh really?
Yeah. There's a amulet of something. But yeah, he won't speak.
So you hang it on his neck and he stops talking?
I don't know if you put it on him or you wear it.
Oh, okay. Huh.
I don't know which it is.
I don't remember that at all.
But I mean, he's voiced very well.
Yes.
And it all feels like part of the game. It doesn't take you out of it at all. It's like, and he's got comments for whatever you're doing. Wherever you are,
Yeah, and he's got a little poke at Lydia because, one of the first things you do is you trade gear with him. And of course, when you, the first time you talk to him about that, he's like, I'm more than happy to carry your burdens.
Yes. Yeah. That is true. Oh, man. Yeah. Of follow, like I think I might use Inigo again because like I set him up to just be an archer and stay behind. And he stays behind and is an archer. Like, some vanilla followers you get, you're like, oh, I don't feel like going into battle here. And all of a sudden they're running a half a mile ahead, attacking someone.
Yeah.
Right.
Or they're like right up in your grill.
Yeah. Or like, because I was like, because I'm playing the more of a, aggressive, dual wielding character, I didn't want another character running into me, so he's just standing back like sniping everything. It's like I'll think I'll have like 2 or 3 Draugr as I'm going through somewhere, and I look around and I'm like, wait, they're dead. After I got done fighting 2 of them, the other 3 are dead because he sniped them from far away, so it was like this is kind of helpful.
And the other handy thing is that because he's using ebony arrows, if you're going to do any archery at all, you just start collecting the ebony arrows.
Well, you know what I collected them for?
That are stranded, that are strung around.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, you can do that. I'm not doing any archery this time, weirdly. And, but I'm collecting the ebony arrows because once I get enough of them, I think, because I'm using Ars Metallica, I can then get ebony ingots and craft my gear that way. Because as I upgrade to different gear, I think right now I'm running with orcish gear because I'm an orc and it looks right. But I do want to get the ebony mail since I'm not sneaking. So the effect that you had an issue with is not going to be an issue for me because I'm not sneaking up on anyone. So like, zapping them with the mail, it's not going to alert them to me being there because I'm already going to be in their face anyway, so it's gonna.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the Boethia?
Yeah, from Boethia, yeah. But I went up there and that wasn't started yet. I think I got up there too early, so nobody was up there fighting or anything, so I couldn't kick off the quest.
Yeah, I think you got to be level 30 for that.
Yeah, that one's higher. Yeah, I wasn't. I was nowhere near that yet.
Yeah, the cultist has to trigger, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't really close to that yet. So, which stinks because at level 30, like sometimes that mail is less than what you have already, but I haven't used it in so long. I really want to use it. So to me, it doesn't. I don't care if I can make better ebony gear, the mail anyway. Yeah. Just because I haven't played with it since very early on. Focused more on crafting and stuff. Generally. But I would definitely use Inigo some more. He does have a quest line which I haven't been able to get to, and just from reading different things on Reddit and stuff, it seems like you have to at least go through the main quest some. And it starts kicking off more, maybe. That might be one of the triggers for it. Mm-hmm. You talk to him. Obviously, you have to talk to him. But also, I think there may be some other triggers to it. But I did talk to him. It tells you his whole backstory and stuff. And about his brother and all that kind of thing. So there's a lot of story there as well. And it's all really well done. But I haven't been able to get to the little quest line where you kind of find out a little more about his backstory and stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also picked up his book.
Yeah.
And I never really got to pursue it, but at one point he offered to read it to me.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
So, but yeah, I played with him for a little bit and was not completely annoyed. But then I got distracted. So.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I will say as a person who does not generally use followers, I was like, oh, I would definitely use this follower.
Yeah, he doesn't suck.
Yeah. He was not in my way at all. Like the lines were fine. Like the speech was fine. I was like, I could run a whole playthrough, and I'll probably continue this character actually with Inigo. So I could easily run a whole playthrough with Inigo.
Yeah, I gotta say, I mean, I do use followers a lot, and I think I sort of felt about Inigo almost sort of on the exact opposite side. It was like a little more work than I wanted to do.
Oh, gotcha.
And I enjoyed my interactions with him, but it was just like I just didn't want to pursue that. I just wanted somebody like Goldier to follow me around and be a kind of a dumbass, and he's really good at that. So, I liked Orisa. That was, I think, of all the follower mods I've used, I had her when I did the Companions audio playthrough. And that. Have you
ever used Lucian?
No, I have the mod. I've even loaded it up a couple times, but I've never actually triggered it. So no, I haven't used Lucian. I've heard good things about it. Everybody seems to like him.
Maybe I'll mess around with him.
Yeah, I was after. Well, let's bring that other thing into this that Ray was talking about, the Skypothesis. So I just on before that, because of that, this afternoon when I got home from work, I started looking at Mod Organizer again and realizing that for me anyway, Skyrim has updated at least once since the last time. So right now I have a pretty stable build, and it hasn't auto updated because I'm running everything through SKSE. But I looked at all the updates that I'm going to have to make in order to bring it up to the latest version of Anniversary Edition, and it's a lot of shit has gone. So, but I was sort of thinking about this Skypothesis scenario, and I watched 3 of the video, and they're really good. So I'm sorry, I'm stealing your thunder, Ray. So
that's quite all right. No,
let's talk about them. They're really good.
Yeah, so I've seen their stuff come up, a few times over the years. Mostly I guess in the last year, and they were already always interesting. Their thing is very vanilla. They run some visual mods to make their videos look nicer, but otherwise run vanilla. And it's 2 brothers that they take turns, narrating the videos. But they have really interesting. They have an interesting spin because they are all about the role play of the character. Mm-hmm. So they always say, we recommend playing on Adept because they don't do any min-maxing. All they do is stuff that, so this character idea that they came up with, everything has to fit with that. So if that means they just wear a Stormcloak cuirass through the whole, playthrough, they wear a Stormcloak cuirass through the whole playthrough. They don't do anything to buff their armor cap or anything like that. And, same thing with weapons. They're very much, I think they had one that was, they used the headsman's axe, as their weapon. And, that's one of the worst two-handed weapons in the game. Yeah. But it fit the aesthetic of the character. So that's what they were using.
Yeah.
And so they come up with really interesting, scenarios. They really explore the lore of the game. These characters are, very fit, tight. And, if the character is not a magic user, then they use no magic, so no, healing magic, no, destruction, nothing. Same thing if the character doesn't use weapons, then, they don't use weapons. And so, they had a lot of interesting scenarios. So I've watched a lot of videos. I haven't played a lot of their characters, but I've definitely watched almost all their videos.
Oh, nice.
And one of the ones that was very recent, just a couple of weeks ago, was a character that was a wood orc. I'm like, wood orc? What the hell is a wood orc? And so, I watched the video. It was interesting. They explained it a little bit. But then I started looking around. I found a FudgeMuppet video on one of their lore videos on wood orcs, and then I saw some printed stuff on wood orcs. But evidently, there was a group of orcs that went to Valenwood and adapted to life in the forest, and so they became, they were still, big, strong orcs, but they became very agile. And, we're able to traverse the trees and climb and jump and all that kind of stuff. And they also, favored light armor. And the way that they kind of fit into society there was that, the green pack wood elves could trade for stuff that came from plants, but they couldn't take the plant themselves. And so they would trade with wood orcs who, didn't give a crap. And, so they got wood products and stuff like that from the wood orcs that they couldn't otherwise get for themselves, and then trade stuff with the orcs. But it was kind of an interesting thing, that just kind of slips through. I mean, it's not, super big or anything like that, but it was just, to see that it was something that's been around forever, but that you just never heard of.
Yeah.
And so that was really cool.
Yeah. I watched three of the videos. They're great. They seem like really good builds. They certainly have, nicely developed backstories, a little bit like sort of a la FudgeMuppet kind of thing, but I think they're actually better in a lot of ways than some of the FudgeMuppet ones, which are sometimes seem a little contrived.
Yeah.
I only watched 3 of them. I watched the Sapphire Thief or whatever. It's a Khajiit character they did. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I watched one, which I think is going to be fun. It's called The Ghost of Atmora, who's an archer and he conjures 2 frost atronachs as sort of that's their implementation of the magic, the frost magic of Atmora, rather than being a conjurer. He's not really a conjurer. And then there's another one they did called the Bone Shepherd, which is actually kind of cool. That's an orc character, and a necromancer, but very specifically, and all of them, like you say, they sort of concentrate on the vanilla but it strikes me that a lot of the builds would work well with some very light modding. A few, just a couple of mods, maybe perhaps a race mod to accentuate something, or a Guardian Stone mod to give you a little better buff here or there. But yeah, they're really good. I really enjoyed the videos I've watched.
Yeah, that Bone Shepherd one was the one that introduced me to Gallows Hall, which is a really obscure.
Oh, right, part of
player home.
Part of the anniversary edition, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because that was their anniversary edition build, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or their first one anyway. Yeah. Yeah.
And it was, I'm like, what the? I've never heard of this place.
Yeah. No, I did use it.
So I went and looked it up, and it's right there, right off Mara's Pond.
Yep. Yeah.
Or Mara Pond.
Mara's Eye, yeah.
Yeah, I've used that one time. I think when I ended up getting that player home somehow. I feel like that was one of the more difficult ones for me to get, because the other ones are all pretty straightforward, like Hendrheim and stuff.
It was pretty simple.
Was it?
Mara's Eye, is that the one? That's the pond near Windhelm, right?
Yeah.
And it has
you find
a vampire.
All you have to do to get to this place is just fight some mud crabs.
Well, isn't there an island in the middle of Mara's Eye Pond that has a vampire cave in it?
Yeah, if you go inside, that's there.
Yeah,
but so one of the things about Gallows Hall is that if you need a couple of free Daedra hearts,
oh yeah, that's right, they do have a bunch.
Go in there, and there's a bowl in there that has a couple of Daedra hearts in it.
Nice.
So I took advantage of that the other day.
Yeah, no, I'd like to play one of their builds. That's why I went into Modern Organizers today, just to see what can I do to sort of modify something without having. I have a pretty stable build right now, and it's with an unupdated version. As long as I don't launch the game the wrong way, it'll be stable. So I'm gonna. Yeah, I think I'm gonna create a list that's specifically for one of these builds.
Yeah. So last week they came up with one that the end of their season. It's their 5th season, so they just finished it up with their 6th build, and it was very intriguing. And so I started playing it. It's called the Ninth Priest, and it's a completionist build. So you go through different steps. They do these different phases of this, character's life. And it takes you through, the main quest to a certain point. And then, let's see, I've got notes. So you start off and, you do the main quest until you finish the Heart of Jurgen Windcaller. And then you pick up the companions and the Civil War quests. You do those. So you do the companions until you become the Harbinger, and then cure yourself. Civil War, and then then the story goes that you become jaded and feel betrayed because the Jarl hasn't done anything to improve Skyrim after taking over. So then you go through and you do the main quest until you get to search for the Elder Scroll. And so that introduces you to the College of Winterhold. And so you start the college. And then it also introduces you to the Thieves Guild because you have to go find Esbern.
Right.
And then also somewhere in there, you're eventually supposed to start the Dark Brotherhood quest just to the shack. And then once you do that, so then it takes you to phase 3, where now you're corrupted because you've killed the Dragon Priest. And so now you want the power of the Dragon Priests. And so you go through and you complete the Dark Brotherhood, and you kill all of the dragon priests. And there's that little building in the middle of Labyrinthian, where you put all of the dragon priest masks.
Oh, you have to get the wood mask.
And then that gives you the Kenrick mask.
The wooden mask, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then that becomes your mask.
Ooh.
And so then you finish the main quest. But so then the idea is, so their premise is that, so you've finished this, but now you still have stuff to do. Because one of the things about builds is a lot of times, you'll get through the build, but then there isn't anything left to do in the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they purposefully held back on doing the Dragonborn and the Dawnguard quests, so that once you have a fully fleshed out, completed character, then you do those two quest lines, so that you've got something to do with your kitted out character.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, the idea really was interesting for me, so I went ahead and started it.
So what race is the character?
Nord.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And any particular specialty, or do they go through all since they're going through all these quest lines anyway, they just sort of change specialties?
Yeah, so he's two-handed.
Okay.
To start off with. And then once you get into phase 2 and get to the college, you learn about conjuration magic. And, then you conjure a battle axe. And so you run around with that.
Yep. That's awesome.
So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So,
yeah.
You don't do any smithing, but you do enchanting.
And alchemy?
And no alchemy.
Well, I guess coincidentally, the three videos I watched were all had a lot of alchemy. I think I'm going to try the Ghost of Atmora build, which also incorporates companions, Dawnguard, and Dragonborn.
Oh, nice.
So I like that, and where that as you were saying before, once they pick a set of armor and a weapon, that's basically what you do for the build. And the Ghost of Atmora wears the skull armor and the helmet from the Armor of the Ancients from the Forsworn quest, and uses the Forsworn bow. Basically, that's their weapon.
Oh man,
yeah, yeah. And this guy will end up wearing the Emperor's robes.
Ooh, nice. I like it.
I've worn those and enchanted them up for sure.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with alchemy, if you level it up well, and some of those poisons, honestly, you could use the crappiest bow in the game and still one-shot characters with the right potions.
Yeah, you get the really high level drain health potions, and
the lingering damage health, and boom,
or lingering damage. Yeah, I think drain health.
That's a really super powerful potion.
Yeah, you can do some pretty heavy hitting ones that really
significant. Yeah.
And then
and one of the other clever things that they do is, so they have their special move section of the videos.
That is so nifty. I love that.
Yeah. And so they come up with different combinations of parts of the character build that then, that they use to make their special moves. And it's kind of interesting. I mean, it's sometimes they're just it's a shout and a potion, or something like that. But they do come up with some really interesting combinations of
so
stuff.
Thoughtfully done. I was really impressed with that. It's a very cool idea. Yeah,
I like the because I watched most of the Woodorc one and how they use the Berserker thing for the orc with the bow.
For archery.
Yeah, which I'd never really even considered before. And I'm like, oh man, that seems like something really fun to try and they did it like strategically for long shots or whatever. And then actually I was reading through the comments of it, and there was somebody like, anytime like I come across a Thalmor even on the road, I immediately hit Berserker because the reaction that character would have to seeing the Thalmor. Yeah. Even if I'm not using it for the bow interact, for using the bow or whatever, I would just kick it off because that character is going to feel that when they see the
that rage.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, that's interesting too. That's an interesting way to play it too. So yeah, there was some good stuff in the comments too. People adding to it and things like that. So
nice. That's really cool.
Yeah. So it's definitely a fun find. They're
absolutely.
They've got quite a few good things. Looks like they tried to do some Fallout 4 and some other stuff, but almost everything is all Skyrim.
Yeah. Well, it's got me thinking. It's given me a good incentive to get back to Skyrim and play a little bit. Get my ass out of Valheim for a while. I'm just having too much fun building shit in Valheim.
I get that. Yeah.
I haven't even gone to the Mistlands yet, and that's the whole new section of the game.
Oh wow!
Which is quite. And it's for anybody who's playing or has played Valheim, the Mistlands, and has also played Skyrim. Did I mention this the last time? I don't remember, but the Mistlands has so many little tiny homages to Skyrim.
Oh, really?
And the elders, yeah. There's these floating beasts called the Gjall, which are basically netches. They are netches. They hang and they have little tentacles and they shoot fire, poison, bile. And there's the new creatures are pretty much Chorus. They're insectivores. And there's a new crafting table called the Galder table. I mean, come on. It's all, there's so many, and the devs have been very open about the fact that they love Skyrim. So, but it's fun.
Yeah, I'm actually over in Iverstead and about to head to the Galdor little quest there. Was it the little island there north of the Barrow? Is that where the?
Oh right, yeah. That's the final spot.
Is that the final spot?
I think so. Isn't that the final battle? Is in that? I forget what the name of the island is, but yes, that's
That's
the first one you get is theoretically, if you're just following quest lines, the first one you get is at
Winterhold, right?
The
Sarthal.
Sarthal. That's it. Yeah, just north of there.
And that kicks up. Then there's the one on the other side of the water from Solitude, Folgunther, I think it is, and then I forget where
Yeah, so I'm actually about to climb the 7,000 steps. I did go through the Barrow for the first time in a long. Actually, I think I'm in the middle of the Barrow still. I'm at not the opening part where you beat what's his name, who's taking the ethereal potions. I forget his name. The guy who's living in the Barrow right above Iverstead.
Oh, right. Yes. It starts with a W.
Yeah.
Windfirth or whatever.
Yeah. So, he was taking the ghost potions, basically, the ethereal potions. So I went back in and got the claw after I let the town know. And I'm kind of at the end of that run. So,
yeah.
And then I'm going to head up to 7,000 steps since I'm actually going to play with the dragon. I figured I got Inigo. I might as well use him for dragons.
Heck yeah.
He can shoot him from far away while I run up and get chomped on. I haven't played that way in a long time, so I'm gonna see what happens. See how it is. see how that goes.
I always chicken out and come in from behind.
Yeah, that's the best way.
Hit him in the back.
Try and get the tail, the back leg. Yeah, I think that's how I took the one out by the tower, the watchtower. I ran in and caught it on the hind leg and just kept dual flurrying on the hind leg.
Yeah, I just usually hide and let Aeroleth take care of it.
Yeah, I got kind of startled because I was doing that and he spun around just as I was coming down with a power attack.
Oops.
And it zapped me into that animation where you jump on top of his head.
Oh yes.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And I thought for sure I had just gotten eaten.
Oh, you thought it was going to the being eaten animation and not the jump on the back animation.
Yeah, because he does that snap, right at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
And I thought, here we go. Gonna have to start this one again.
Anybody played anything new other than Skyrim or Valheim or No Man's Sky?
I haven't. I don't think, anyway.
Yeah, my playtime has been extremely crippled lately.
Yeah.
So
yeah, in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be on the Switch, so it'll be things that I can see on that screen. That'll be my limitation. Will be things that I can play on the screen that size.
Yeah. Looking forward to the next installment of Zelda, though. Right? It's coming. Sometime in 23.
I never really got through. Was it Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, Breath.
Yeah, it just didn't click with me.
Didn't click with me either. But I'm not a huge Nintendo fan.
Yeah,
so that's probably why.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, click.
Yeah.
No, I was just wondering because I got, of course, we all, Kate and Sean and I give games back and forth every Christmas and birthdays. Mm-hmm. So Kate gave me the latest Viking RTS, Land of the Vikings, which is a lot of fun. But it's just a simple RTS. But Sean gave me the PC version of Horizon Zero Dawn, and so I started replaying that.
Nice.
It's so good. I've forgotten how really good it is. Wonderful. Just the opening, the whole opening sequence. From naming Aloy and through her when she's a little girl, and so it's such a wonderful. And there's stuff that I don't remember noticing when I played it on the PS4. Playing it on the PC, because I remember the first time I realized where it's set was later on in the game when you finally come around. No big spoiler here, folks, but when there's this point where you're exploring and you come around the corner and you look, and if you've ever been to the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, the chapel there, which of course I have a connection to now through the military and chapels and there. But there's this scene where you come around a corner and there's the wreck of the chapel, which is a very iconic structure. It's this huge triangle. And I remember that giving me just sort of chills. I thought, oh, now I know where this is. It's in the far future in Colorado. But there's a scene at the very beginning during the cinematics where her foster father actually walks right by it. Because it's very quick, but it's right there in the background. It's very cool. Anyway, it's a wonderful game. So if anybody if there's one person out there who still hasn't played Horizon Zero Dawn, go play it. It's a wonderful.
Yeah, Connor has been playing Skyrim also. No, he is actually also trying to. I think he's collecting all the dragon masks to get the wood mask.
Cool.
Get this. And then he's also, I think he's picking up non-Skyrim related the newest God of War, the latest one. Not the previous one. We have the previous one, which I loved as well. So maybe I'll get to play the new one at some point.
Well, which previous one are you talking about? You're talking about the first one with the Viking theme?
The PS5 one that came out with the PS5.
So that's God of War 2.
I think so.
Because the one that came out on the PS4, 2 or 3 years ago now?
It might have been that one.
That's the one with that's the one that takes place in sort of under the auspices of Norse mythology rather than Greek.
The one with the father-son.
Yes.
Yeah.
With Atreus or whatever his
name
is.
That was the one I played. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's like the third.
That's right. Yeah. There's been a few. Yeah. And then whatever the latest one that either just came out or what.
Yeah. And it was a huge departure because the first two with Kratos were very different games. Totally different.
Yeah. I had never played it previously, but I really did love that one that I played. It was, the story was great and it was really well done.
Yep.
As you went through the whole thing.
Yeah, Colin got a PS5 for his family for Christmas, so I'm going up there on this Saturday for New Year's brunch. So
nice.
Their PS5.
Yeah, maybe I'll get some God of War in. Who knows? Once I get back. Oh man. So anything good going on in the Fallout and No Man's Sky worlds?
Yeah, Fallout. We are still looking for the water chip. In Fallout 1.
Ooh.
So I suspect we'll be finding that very soon. And then No Man's Sky, we had a couple of scheduling breakdowns, and so we are on break until after the holidays. So because Saturday is our recording day. So we'll be back. Currently running right now are the expedition redos So the 4 expeditions that ran this previous year, they're doing redo versions of each one, which are just slightly pared down, but still a lot of fun. So it's we're about to wrap up the one for the Leviathan, the Living Frigates, which was a great addition. And so, yeah, good fun.
Yeah, I see Sherry is still playing a lot of it.
Yeah.
I saw
she's really enjoying those.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Well, I need to pack a suitcase thanks to Southwest Airlines.
So, well, good luck on your trip. Safe travels.
A little shorter tonight.
Yeah.
Because somehow my time got, much shorter than I thought it was going to be. Thanks to the travails of travel. But I'll probably, actually I might. I just saw those a few things on Creation Club that I hadn't played around with. Not little things that I might, since I'm running around with Inigo anyway, I may hop into quick before I end my time with Inigo and move on to someone else.
Has the Anniversary Edition available on the Switch?
I don't know. That's a good question. I have it on Switch, so I have to see if it's upgraded to Anniversary Edition or not.
Yeah, probably not. Right? Who knows?
I'm not sure actually. I haven't played it on Switch in a while, just because I can play on there, but I have to play like a two-handed basher or something like that, because there's no way I'm doing archery on that screen.
Something that takes no targeting.
Yeah, it's just not happening. All the combat needs to be up close, or we're in a lot of trouble. Just
I've tried it on the Steam Deck too, and it's sort of a similar situation.
Just because the size of the screen, it's just the reality of it. Yeah. Playing on like an 80-inch TV versus playing on the screen, because there's just a difference. Yep. I did love some of those shots in the Woodork video though that they were doing from long distance. And
it's vanilla. With the vanilla you can really nail those long shots.
Yeah, that is for sure. I really loved how I did. I'm going to link to Skypothesis in the show notes in case anybody wants to check it out.
Good. It really is worth it.
People ought to check it out. Even if you just watch the videos and don't do any of the builds, they're really, really well done. Really well thought out.
And even if you don't do a whole build, if you get like an idea from it, it's like perfect. Take a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That's it just makes it. And they have vanilla. Do they have any modded ones? I saw the vanilla list.
No, they
just do vanilla, right?
Yeah. The only mods they run are for visual.
Yeah.
For making videos.
Yeah. So I mean,
they do have a few that use Anniversary Edition content.
Okay. Yeah.
But not a lot.
Yeah.
And they talk about in their last video about how they'll be doing more anniversary content, characters coming up in their next season.
Nice. That's
cool.
Yeah. So everybody should check that out. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to watch some more of their videos. So I really like the Woodork one. It's really well done and just gives you a lot to go off of for your own play watching.
Yeah. And they're all very unique. So they don't have, so what looks like, I guess it'd be, so it's their fifth season of 6 episodes each. So they've got like 30 builds.
Mm-hmm. And the videos aren't like super long either. They're like, I think, what was the Orc one? 30 minutes?
Yeah, I think the ones I watched were somewhere between 12 and 20 minutes long.
Yeah, so it's not like a massive time commitment either. It's definitely something you can throw on even while you're playing, watch and listen, or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, I definitely didn't watch them at work today. But
yeah, me either. I
was just looking at the timestamps. That's what
That's absolutely not where I watched it either. But and I definitely won't be watching more of them there tomorrow. While I'm editing.
Well, and I definitely didn't watch them at work either.
Well, yeah. Now there's a true statement.
So they still got this cough from the COVID.
Yeah. All right. Well, until next time, I guess. Thanks everybody for listening, and we'll be back with some more in January 2023.
Next year,
our 10th year. 10-year anniversary coming up in May, by the way.
Oh God. It's been a long time.
It's a long time.
It really is amazing. Yeah.